Hello guys, so welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a collection tour showing you my desk and where I store everything. Stay tuned. I hope you guys like it and hit that subscribe button. This is my desk. I have my Ring camera here, so it's going to be a little bit bright. And then it's a combined desk, so I have it as my PC desk and I also have it as my makeup desk. I have my light here, my makeup light that I use, and it is connected to a bunch of wires down at the bottom, but typically I just kind of disconnect this and I put it down underneath my keyboard. This piece completely detaches from this bottom part, so you can just slide this off. And then what I end up doing is that I store it right underneath here. So I have the rest of my makeup in here, and I'll just kind of store it away in here whenever I'm using my actual PC. And it works for me somehow, some way. But yeah, I just store it down underneath. But we'll kind of get started on this little area over here. I think I bought this on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. So the cool thing about this is you get like a little section for your brushes, and you also get like a section for maybe your everyday pieces. And I have everything stored in here, and we'll kind of go over what I have. Starting with my brushes here, my brush collection isn't that big. I have a combination of different brushes that I absolutely love, but this is such a cute compartment in my opinion. These are those e.l.f. like pro brushes, and I love these. I think these are absolutely slept on. This one is the airbrush blender, and this one is just so nice. Oh, I didn't notice I had this. It's so new that I haven't like removed some of the stuff from it. Good. The regular e.l.f. brushes aren't exactly my favorite, but these are top tier to me. These are the Wet n Wild brushes, and the only complaint I feel like I have about these is the fact that the metal, this white, it just starts like peeling off over time. I've had these brushes for a really long time. I'm talking about maybe 5-6 years now, and I think that I've been just like trying not to replace them because they are so good and there's nothing really wrong with them except for the fact that they're peeling. But I know that Five Below has these brushes for like $4 to $6, but you can definitely find these at Dollar Tree for about $1 or so. The rest of my brushes are just going to be from either Real Techniques, and I have about 1 or 2 brushes, or maybe I have about 4 brushes from It Cosmetics. My collection up here, I just kind of have like everyday foundations or any skin tint that I've been using, and my typical primer. It's going to be the Dior Backstage foundation. I love this foundation so much. I didn't know it was scented until I got to try it out a couple of weeks ago, and this was so exciting. But this is one of my favorite reaches for right now. I have the Fenty Beauty Matte Foundation. I do love this foundation, but I do think you need tons of skin prep even if you have oily skin. This foundation is really mattifying, super long lasting, but it is beautiful. I also do have the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer since I just tried it recently, and I really did like this, so I've been continuing to use it. The Tower 28 Concealer. This has been one of my go-tos recently, so I've been keeping it up here with the rest of my foundation, so it's an easy reach. I've got my Double Wear Estee Lauder, which I've been wearing a lot more frequently now that, I don't know, I've been getting back into full coverage foundation, and this is a staple for me. Like, I can never get away from this. I did hear that they reformulated it, which is super sad to me to hear because I love this foundation so much, and I don't think it needed any reformulating. It's, you know, it was made for the oily skin girlies. We have Haus Labs up here. I've spoken so highly of this foundation because I absolutely love it. This is great for anybody who has combo dry, oily skin. It doesn't really matter. It just matters how you prep your skin, and it will be ready to go for you. This foundation is beautiful. It's going to be the Fenty Skin Tint. This is one of my favorite skin tints ever. It leaves such a gorgeous glow on the skin. You can build it up absolutely to a medium coverage foundation if you'd want to. and realistically it covers so much. I mean, I have redness and I have a little bit of discoloration around my lips, and this really helps. And it's just surprising because that doesn't often happen with foundations, but I mean with skin tints, but this one takes the cake. Up here I also have a mini Milk gripping primer. I think I got this from Sephora. Was having like some kind of sale and they added it in my bag as like a little freebie, and it's just so cute because it's so tiny. But this is one of my favorite primers, so I definitely want to keep that. I also have the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Primer, or a setting spray, sorry. I typically use this on a day where around winter time where it gets so dry and it's almost unbearable. Like your skin literally gets so dry with the snow. This is the perfect foundation for, I mean, the perfect setting spray for that. But typically I use this setting spray to prep my skin if I'm having a really dry skin kind of day. Here we have our Saie Beauty. I think this is their glowy gel, and I'm not sure what shade this one is in. Oh, it's in Star Glow. Underneath makeup, it is gorgeous. It's one of my favorites. You can wear it alone or even with your fullest coverage foundation. You can mix it in and it looks so gorgeous. It gives a radiant, like matte glow. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but this is so beautiful. I have eyeshadow in here, I have bronzers in here, and I have more bronzers and contours in here, but the liquid and cream ones. So I'm going to start with this top part. I have this Sephora matte eyeshadow. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows ever, just for every day and to set my concealer. I also have a MAC eyeshadow in here that I've never used. I think I was gifted this about a year ago or so, and I don't know why I haven't used it yet, but I really do want to. It's called Atlantic Blue. It's a matte eyeshadow, and I know MAC eyeshadows are beautiful. I just haven't had any in so long, and I guess it's just not something that I reach for, but I typically put any single shadows or cream shadows in here anyways. Then we have the Natasha Denona. This one is the mini nude palette. I think I've had this in my collection for about 2 years now. I can't seem to use this enough to get it down somehow, but it's become one of my staples. I really love this color here for a transition shade if I want something more bronzy that day. And then we have this Natasha Denona mini. This is in I Need a Nude eyeshadow, and I don't know why it's called a nude palette. It's not a palette, but this shimmer is so beautiful. It honestly blew me away. It gives the vibes of like the Fenty highlighter, and I'm not really sure how they did it, but the pigments in this are gorgeous. I really want to get a couple more of these that are a little darker than this one. But even this one is super nude and it's very light. It's just to add a little bit more glam to your eyeshadow. I have 2 different liquid shadows from About Face. This one is their white one, and then I'm not sure what color this one is in. Looks like Blue Monday. It's kind of hard to focus on it, but these are amazing. I typically use them more as eyeliners than anything because they're so pigmented and they last all day, and I don't know if these are meant to be waterproof, but they're practically waterproof. And then I have a cream shadow from Half Magic. This one is Chrome Addiction, and it's so beautiful. It's a matte purple, but oh my god, it lasts all day. I think I wore this as eyeliner as well for a Pride event, and it did not come off throughout the entire day. In here I have just 2 bronzers. I don't really have much. It's the ones that I tested out recently, which is the Essence Soft Touch one and the Hoola Benefit one. I am trying to build up my bronzer game because those I had to restock, and I thought that buying some new ones would be a better alternative. I had ones from e.l.f. and I think I had one from Anastasia as well, but I had them for so long, almost past 10 years, that it was just time to get rid of them. But here we have the e.l.f. Liquid Contours. I think this is their lightest shade. And this is in the shade Fair. And I don't know if you can tell, but it has a little bit of a glimmer in it. And you honestly can't really see it, but it leaves such a beautiful, like almost natural contour. This one is from Say Beauty, and I can't remember what shade this is. Looks like it's the light bronze. This one is so beautiful. It's probably one of my favorites, and I don't reach for it often anymore because I've been trying out the Fenty one. Let me try and see if I can get it out of here. This is shade Mocha, and I mean, ever since I bought it, like I've been really trying to use it, but I think it's really hard to work with if you have like a matte foundation underneath. For me personally, I felt like any natural foundation or like a glowy foundation, it worked with super well. But if you're using a matte foundation, for some reason it really clings to it and you can't blend it that well. I don't know if everyone has had the same experience, but for me personally, that's been my biggest struggle with it. And then down here I have this big old box, and this one's full of just blushes. This one I recently tried out in a video. This is the Glow Recipe Dewy Flushes, and I really loved it. The only fear that I had was I wasn't sure if these were going to work for people with a deeper complexion than me because of how light they are. These are the Milani blushes. I think I have about 2 or 3 of these, and I have one in a more pinky, like hot pink shade, and this one I would say is a little closer to a red burgundy. But these are so beautiful, and I never see people talk about these, but the Cheek Kiss ones are my absolute fave, and I refuse to let those go. And then we have the Undone Beauty ones. I'm not really sure if I've seen anything from Undone Beauty recently, but these blushes are also extremely slept on. They have the same consistency and pigment as these do. They're so pigmented. A little bit of it goes a long way. So I'm really surprised. I've never really heard anybody talk about these either. NARS in here. I think this one was gifted to me as well. And this is NARS Orgasm, but the mini. I also have the full-size version, which was also gifted to me somehow. And so it's this one here. And then I have my newest one. This one is Exhibit A, shade right here. It's so beautiful. I feel like it would complement this one super well, but it's like this orangey red, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. This is their Clinique blushes. I just really like the little flower on it, and honestly, they're not heavily pigmented, but they have a little bit of a radiance to them as well. So your skin looks so glowy and beautiful with these. The only thing I will say is that they're very small, but this is the Black Honey Pop. It's super pretty, but it's so tiny. We also have Juvia's Place, which is one of my favorite blushes at the drugstore. They slightly went up in price. You just get a little bit more product than like the e.l.f. ones, but if you didn't want to get these for their price point, you can do the e.l.f. ones instead. I believe it's in the shade Blush Lily. Usually if I use this one, I pair it with my Too Faced one, the Rare Beauty. I think this is in the shade Worth. Yeah, these are the bouncy blushes, and these are absolutely beautiful. I tested it out 2 other times after the video that I uploaded, and I really ate my words. I feel like it was really hard to work with the first time that I applied it. Maybe it was because of the bouncy texture, but after a few times of digging in there, I mean, now the pigment is so beautiful. I've been using that nonstop. This ColourPop, I think they don't even have this anymore, but this is a very beautiful like mauve-y pink, and I'm not sure what collection this was from or if it was just like an original, but these are their ColourPop pressed powder blushes, and this was in the shade Swirled. These are so beautiful. They do have, because I guess they're such a like a pressed powder, they do have tons of pigment. It gives that airbrushed look, so I really love these. I feel like these are pretty slept on too. This is from Glamlight, and it was their Strawberry Shortcake collection, and I guess this is just the shade. Maybe it's just because it was from that collection. I only used it a couple times because I don't want to ruin the design. It's gorgeous because it has Strawberry Shortcake on it. And here I have the Maybelline. I think these are the ones that come with the little sponges at the top. and I love these. I think this one I usually just use it to correct, but this is shade 160. It doesn't look like it here, but it's a very pink shade. And I removed the sponge because I think it's so unsanitary. I don't really like it. So I remove the sponge and then I just kind of use, like I squeeze it out and then I use it with a brush. This one is going to be the Tarte Shape Tape Corrector. And this I think is the shade Peach. Yeah, this is the shade Peach. I typically use this around my mouth because I get a lot of discoloration. And my true and tried here, I have the CoverGirl Lid Lockup. I know you can get this. So I initially said that you can get this on CoverGirl's website. You can't. You can only get it on Walmart and Amazon now, but I just thought that I should let you guys know. Oily lids. This is a game changer. I also have a color corrector from Elle. I have the About Face eye primer that I didn't know they had until a couple of weeks ago. It's very blurring, super easy to blend. The problem with this one here, because it's made for people who have more oily lids, it dries down so quickly that you almost have no time to blend it, whereas this one has more of the texture. I would compare this to the Urban Decay Primer Potion. They have the exact same kind of finish, and it feels like you're blending that exact same product. Down here I have my blushes. So I have two NARS blushes. The only problem with these two is they're so light. These would not work for people who have a darker complexion than me. And I also have a Rare Beauty blush here, one of their liquid ones, and this one is in the shade Grateful. This is just a true beautiful red. The shade Thanks in the ColourPop liquid blushes. These are great. I don't ever really see anybody talking about these, but these are so nice because they're extremely buildable. They are pigmented, but you could build these up. Maybe it's because I haven't tried a different kind of color, but I love these so much. I have an About Face. This one is Pit Stop. It's their Blush Rush blushes. I love these so much. These, I would argue that they are more pigmented than the Rare Beauty ones. So although it comes in this smaller packaging, you get so much product in here. You're never going to run out because they're so pigmented. I have the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. This one's amazing. I can definitely say you could build this up to a full coverage. And I have the shade Vanilla here. I have the Quickie Concealer. This is in shade 40 CP. And I don't stray away from this. Love how creamy this one is and how full coverage it is. So it kind of reminds me of this concealer from Tarte, which is their Shape Tape Creamy. I have the lighter shade in this one. I think this is 20B. And then I have 16, and I believe in the Radiant Tarte concealer. And I would say these two are exactly the same. The only difference is that this one has such a foul smell. I don't know why, but it smells like paint or something. But I have this old Artist Couture highlighter that my sister gave me years ago. It's really hard to go through this, to be honest, but these are the Diamond Glow powders, and this is the shade Supernova. These are so hard to go through because they are so pigmented. I have my Fenty Beauty highlighter. Of course, this is How Many Carats, which is a mini, but I have not been able to get through this either. Maybe because I have so many highlighters. And we have the Be Goldie Bright Drops from Drunk Elephant. I have both of them. The only one I don't have is the blush because I really didn't like the way that it looked when I applied it. But I have my Hourglass here. This is in shade Silk. I also have the Charlotte Tilbury here. This is shade Fair Medium. These are really beautiful, but I definitely don't think I'll be purchasing them again. The price point is a little too high for me for what it does, and I can definitely find a cheaper alternative to it. Surprisingly, Five Below has an alternative to this, and I really want to try it because apparently they're super pigmented. Lastly here, this Bobbi Brown highlighter powder. This is in Quartz Glow. It's an everyday shade. It looks very gold on the camera, but I think it's just my ring light. But in reality, this is a very beautiful champagne color. It's so versatile. Down here, I also have two more foundations in here. The True Match foundations from L'Oreal. I have shade C3 and C2.5. Just kind of depends on the day, and too, it depends like if it's summer, spring. A big milk primer up here. Like I said, I have my small one up there, but I want to get through this one first. This one just didn't look good at the top with everything else, so I didn't leave it there. What I've been obsessed with lately, the MAC Strobe Cream. This one is in shade Gold Light. We have the Rare Beauty highlighter. This is in shade Enlighten. This is another one that I feel like I'm very iffy about because the dry down time is so quick that it does pick up makeup if you don't blend it in super quickly. However, her bronzers or her contours are amazing. Ilia Stick Foundations. This is LW Willow, and I have 10C in Ash. And these are so nice. They're very mattifying. These are great if you have oily or combo skin. And I just haven't been using them yet because it's been kind of cold here still. Summer hasn't gotten here yet. And then I have this Tula Radiant Skin Brightening Serum Skin Tint. I will say, I think for a day where I just use skincare and maybe want to cover up some redness, put on mascara, call it a day, that's nice. But it depends what you apply underneath it. This product is very picky with the things that you mix with it because it has that sunscreen in it. So you can't just apply any powder over it. And I don't know, I usually just use this if my skin doesn't look too great that day, but it does leave a beautiful glow to the skin. This is just the brush to my Laura Geller foundation. Like I had said before, I have some of my other makeup in here, and I also have like some sunglasses in there. But in here, I have pretty much all of my brushes that are angled and that I possibly use for concealer. And then I have all of my mascaras in here. I haven't used this yet, but I love this mascara. This one is a newer one that I just purchased. This is the Idole from Lancome. And then I have the Ilia Volumizing Mascara, which is one of my top faves. I even have a mini in this one. I love this mascara so much. I also have this Better Than Sex Brown mascara from Too Faced. I really love the way this one applies, but I love the brown on this. It's very rich. I don't love how thick the formula is for the Better Than Sex, and it's so drying. The Brow Freeze Gel from Anastasia and the Urban Decay Slick Day Brow. These two are the only two brow gels that I tend to use and gravitate towards. Here I also have one of my Fenty Beauty, I don't know what shade this is, honestly. Nut Almond in number 13. So this is a very gorgeous, more like a light brown, almost taupey brown. I also have my NYX brow pencil in here. This is in the shade Black. I have shade 5 for my Benefit pencil in here. This is the Precisely My Brow Pencil. I sometimes use these in combination depending on the day. This has become a staple for me. This is also the Precisely My Brows, but this is the Brow Detailer. This is line on this is so fine. It's so little, you almost can't see it. It won't even focus on it. And the rest of these are just brushes. And then I also have my soft matte NARS concealer in here. Oh, my Bad Girl Bang. So this one, I honestly really wanted to root for this mascara because the brush, the application is beautiful. It's not chunky, and it's one of those silicone like brushes that I like, but it creases on me even though it literally says waterproof. These are little tapes that I have. I got these on Amazon. It was a set of these 3, I think for like $5.99. And then this one came in my set that I got for, I think it was these brushes actually. But yeah, it was like the nude brushes from Real Techniques, and it brought this little tape. I have some blotting sheets in here from Petite and Pretty. I don't really use blotting sheets. I think I got these 6 years ago or 5 years ago, and I still haven't really used them. I just kind of use them whenever I don't have anything else on hand. This is a little mirror my sister gave me a couple of years ago.
The audio sounded super weird in this part, so I was just saying that these are all of my tools, and this is typically where I keep any of my everyday tools.
And here I have all of my eyeliners, tons of different liners, and I have this Ordinary Cold Pressed Moroccan Oil. I usually use this for the Bobbi Brown eyeliner because this dries out so fast. It does not matter if this is sealed, it just dries out so quick, so I probably won't be buying this again. This is the Laura Geller foundation that I was talking about earlier. This is so beautiful. I did get this in the shade Light, but I feel like I should have gotten it in the shade like Fair because it does leave, maybe it's because it's so bronzy.
I said tint initially. I'm not sure why I said that, but I was trying to say that this foundation actually is a little too dark for me because of the fact that it's like an illuminating kind of foundation.
We have, this is my glow kit from Anastasia. This is Moonchild. I refuse to let go of this because I love highlighters so much. Here I have, I think this one is also shade Supernova. Yeah, Supernova from Milk. They're highlighters. This was the e.l.f. highlighter. I did a collection with them a couple of, maybe like 4 years ago, and I wanted this so badly for Christmas. So many highlighters because I love highlighters so much. I have this Hourglass highlighter here. This is in the shade Ambient. Kind of looks like this, except the difference is this is an actual highlighter. You get a soft radiant glow from this, and this is more for a matte look for sure. If you do this on glowy skin, it's just going to mattify everything because it has that matte finish. Fenty Beauty highlighter, but this one is in the shade Lavender Lover. We have a tiny Charlotte Tilbury here. This one is in the number 1. I don't really reach for this. I've been trying to get rid of it because it's so small and it's just kind of pointless to toss it out when I could use it. It's great, but it's not as matte as I would like it to be. And everyone says it's really matte, but it does not mattify my skin. I feel like it leaves more of a radiant matte finish. And we also have the Flawless Skin Trio from Essence. It brings 3 shades in here. It has like a purple, a pink, and a peach. These are new from CoverGirl. They're Skin Enhancer Luminous Blushes. I've been loving these so much. And this one is in the shade Rose Latte. I have the Sephora Colorful Luminizer Highlighter. This is in the shade Iced Pearl, and like it just looks really pretty. So I feel like it lasts. You don't need a lot of product, and it leaves a really nice like highlighted look without looking, I don't know, it doesn't look like a highlighter. Of course, the Fit Me Matte and Poreless powders. This is in shade 100, which is just their translucent shade. We have my Tried and True LYS. Can't stop using this. I love this so much. It isn't completely matte, but it's matte enough for me that it leaves such a pretty airbrush kind of look. And this is just their translucent shade. Tinted powder. I think this is in the shade Light as well. Light/tan. I feel like this is too dark for me during the winter time, but during the summertime this is perfect. So I haven't really been using or reaching for this. Makeup Forever, this is also their translucent shade. This is my absolute favorite for the under eyes and for oily skin. I also have Huda Beauty here. This is the matcha, what is it, the matcha milk cake. These are so pretty. This, I tried it the other day with just powder and just the powder, no foundation, and to set my skin, and then I put some mascara on, and it really reduced the redness, and it stayed pretty much all day. So beautiful, and it's really matte. And my Laura Mercier, this is the translucent shade as well. This is the jumbo size. It's about $60 for this one, but totally worth it because I've still not gone through all of it. And last but not least, I have this NYX highlighter. I think the shade is here, Going Gold. These are so pretty. Open it, you could easily kind of damage the little pyramid that's inside here. Oh my god, I love this to just apply it with my hands. I don't really apply it with a brush or anything. That is what concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me a like and a subscribe. And I really enjoyed this. Until next time. Bye guys.